Okay, another variation of question for calculating the drop rate. I think some of the student having a bit of trouble with this type of question. So Mr. Jimmy Bonds asked you how long his infusion will last. He has 1,000 ml of fluid running at 50 drops per minute. So we already know 50 drops per minute. So that's the rate. So we already know the rate. And we know the volume to be infused. Using an infusion set that delivers 15 drops per minute, so we know the drop factor. And what we want to find out, he asks you how long his infusion will last. So what we want to know is the time. Okay. And when we go back to our formula, so we know the rate, we know the drop factor, we know the volume to be infused. We don't know how long that's gonna last. So that's what we don't know. I will show you two different ways to do it. We can put the numbers in that formula. So we know that is 1,000 ml, the volume to be infused, over X. The time we don't know. So that's X times 15. So that's the drop factor. So I think that's straightforward. I think some student having a bit of trouble from here, just the math bit. So we want to bring that X to this side, isn't it? So that we know what X is. So what we can do is we can multiply X over 50, and we need to do the same thing here, so that it will be equal X over 50. And then what happens is we can cancel those out, and we can cancel those out. And that helps us to bring that X on this side. So X is 1,000 times 15 over 50. And then when we calculate that, that's 30 minutes. And if you say to Mr. Jimmy, it's gonna last 300 minutes, and he'll be looking at you and thinking, what? so you want to convert that into an hour. So you need to divide that into 60. So you can tell Mr. Jimmy the infusion will last 5 hours. Okay. I think because some people having trouble here doing math, I want to suggest another alternative way. There's a calculation, and there's a formula. Time remaining. So there's a formula for it. If this is easier for you, you can use this formula. And remember, you can bring your own formula in a A4 piece of paper. And all this formula can be found on the Moodle website. So what we can do, we can use this formula. It says volume to be infused, volume remaining, over drops per minute, so that's the rate, times drop factor, and then we have the minutes remaining, so the time that we want to find out. So you can use this formula if this math bit confused you. So we put 1,000 ml here. Oh, it's not focusing. And the rate, 50 drops per minute, times drop factor, and then we get 50 minutes. So it's the same answer. If the math confuses you, with the first method, you can use this formula.